think those marriages will likely stick longer because they have more glue.
Like, go up, you bald head. Go up, you bald head.
Well, that's really weird. And he turned around, looked at them, and called down a curse. He's forgiven us for things that we could never atone for, and made it right between us and God. Relish, pleasing or zestful flavor.
A quantity just sufficient to flavor, to be pleased or gratified by. Enjoy.
We are hoping that what we bring to your table today might add some spice to your life.
Welcome back to another episode of Relish. This is Don Patterson. I am Rowan Miller. Don, how are you doing today?
Present, accounted for.
He's here.
Accounted for. I think I'm accounted for. Yeah, I think so. I've got a question for you.
Alrighty.
How have you seen God answer prayer?
Yeah, I mean, definitely I've said this before, but with college decision and even most recently, like preaching, I was kind of stressed out about it during the week a little bit because I was just like,
it was a stressful week.
I already had the sermon written because it was for a class, but then I was like, man, what am I gonna like? How am I gonna practice this? Like, how's this gonna work? And I was at peace like Saturday, Sunday. So
that's cool, yeah. Especially since it was your first time.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, I wasn't too nervous at all. I mean, definitely a little, but
right.
Yeah.
I'm still nervous when I go preach.
Yeah.
I think that keeps our edge.
Mm-hmm. Right. Somebody told me it was after I preached, and
after you preached.
Well, if you weren't nervous, then you didn't care or something like that.
Yeah, so it didn't matter much.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. Those things that we invest in that matter quite a bit, we will have some anxiety about making sure it happens the way we want it to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep, that's true.
Alrighty. Well, we got kind of a long question here about marriage with some stats in here.
Ooh, okay.
So nowadays, men marry at 30 and women marry at 28 on average, where in the 1900s it used to be at 22 and 20. Mm-hmm. And now they say roughly 40% of people will get divorced in their life. And then families now average under 2 children, while they used to average over 3. So why, I mean, this might not be so much of a Bible question, but why are they changing? And then if you could like walk us through what the Bible tells us about marriage and what the purpose of marriage is and how we can kind of change and become more like that.
And I think some of our Christian families are living into those stats a little differently, because I know several families who are Christian specifically and are making sure that they have not only 2 kids to replace them, but also understanding that our Christian population maybe should be growing. And so that's evangelism in the bedroom. we sound some names to call it, you know. But the reality is, so those figures are right on. I mean, that is what I see, and part of it is, I have a men's Bible study, and they're saying, well, we just can't find good Christian girls. And so, do you know any, Don? You know any Christian girls? And so part of that is saying, the guys are saying, I'm not going to marry just anybody.
Right.
And I'm going to take my time in this decision and find the right one. And because the intention is to live our entire lives together. And that's great. We can approach it that way. That's a good way to approach it. But that also means that date of getting married might go into the 30s and early 30s because we can't find that person. And I think the belief that I've always had is there's a right person, and sometimes it takes a while to find that right person. There's not just a select, all 6 of these would be good candidates, and I don't think we want to go there. There's also intensity in that process that I hope will start driving that 42% down, so that there are fewer divorces among Christians because they're taking that seriously. The biblical example would go back to Genesis, and one man for one woman, and uniquely created to be there. And yes, I think it's 127, Genesis 127, we're to multiply, Oh, no, 27 is made man in our image. And then you go down in Genesis and it's to multiply. And I was reading an article the other day that said that Adam and Eve had 53 children.
Really?
And I thought,
where did you get that from?
My goodness. Well, it came out of the book of Enoch, I think. And so it, He blessed them, be fruitful and increase, verse 28. Fill the earth, subdue it, rule over fish and sea, birds of the air. And so it's sort of giving a indication that this being created, man and woman, was to be fruitful. And I really think that what happened was it was norm to have many children because you knew that you had to have at least 4 to make sure that 2 would live to adulthood. I mean, the infant mortality rate was such at the turn of the 19th century. Let's see. Yeah.
It's off one.
Right, it is. So, but about 1900, the mentality was you still needed to have 4 kids because the infant mortality rate was so high enough that maybe half of them would live to adulthood. And when we came into the Great Depression, that really made it hard for households, that, especially in the city, to make sure that they could raise that many kids. In fact, there were orphan trains because of the 1920 Spanish flu killed parents, and then children might live. They were orphaning in orphanages and then set out on a train to find other places to live because that wasn't. So the idea of let's have just as many kids as we know we can get to adulthood that we can afford.
Yeah.
And that is sort of why we went back down to 2 kids or 1.38 kids. I'm not sure how you get that. But yeah. So that mindset in the church then, I think, is going through a transition that we need to take marriage more seriously than we used to. Maybe even have premarital counseling in the dating stage. I've done a couple of those where a couple started dating and decided, well, maybe we need to talk to somebody to talk this through to see if this is the right person, even before they were engaged. And those have been interesting counseling sessions. And some of them has stuck really well. Taking the marriage seriously, it's not just about sex, not just about finding the right one. It's about living into a mission together. Instead of just, I've found the right one now.
Yeah.
It's living into a mission together. And I'm finding that more in Christian circles than I did earlier. And I think that's positive.
Yeah.
Then I think those marriages will likely stick longer because they have more glue. They not only have the glue of, I like her. I really like her. It also has the glue of spiritual relationships. So we believe the same things, and spiritually we pray the same. We spend time with the Lord together, and then beyond that, the mission that we've adopted as a couple, it drives us forward as a couple, and we engage it together. That's good sticky stuff to keep a relationship together. Then you might want to have more kids. Did I get the whole question?
I believe so.
Oh, why? I just am really encouraged by some of our Christian families living into their vision and mission together.
Yeah. Alrighty, this strange Old
shifting
Testament
gears.
passage here.
Oh, strange Old Testament.
Yeah.
Okay.
2 Kings 2. I don't know if
Kings.
it's when, let's see, who was it? Like the Lord, it was Elijah and Elisha, and Elijah just left, and Elisha was going out of where was it? Wherever he was going out to Bethel or something, and
Mhm.
then some kids were calling him baldy or something.
Oh,
Sent them-
just after Elijah has
right.
gone up into heaven with the chariots of fire.
Elisha's succeeding him.
Yes.
He sends a bunch of kids call him a baldy, so then he sends the Lord sends 2 female bears out of the woods and mauled 42 of the children. And then Elisha goes on his business to Mount Carmel.
Yes. So here it is. 2 Kings chapter 2, and it's verse 23 to 25.
Mhm.
And yes, why does this happen?
Yeah.
Well,
Like, it just seems a little strange, but
it does seem a little strange. I agree 100%. And I'm not sure there's any theologian can actually put it into context other than here's a prophet, young prophet, and all of a sudden he's been given a double portion of Elijah's power.
yeah.
He's received the mantle, and maybe, have you ever watched Superman? And right after he visits his father, Jor-El, or whatever that is. Anyway, he all of a sudden is given this ability to fly, but he doesn't know how to do it yet. And he's working into it a little bit. And so he's calling out, and he turned around and looked at them and called down a curse on them in the name of the Lord. And I think maybe he didn't know how effective that curse was going to be. And so I have to put it maybe as the young prophet didn't know his power yet.
Okay.
And he's sort of, And interesting that he was already bald at that, whatever age. I mean, we know he was younger than Elijah, but Elisha was already bald. And here these kids come out. I don't know whether he was funny looking, maybe he was funny looking and bald, or maybe he walks strange. But go up, you bald head. Go up, you bald head. Well, that's really weird. And he turned around, looked at them, and called down a curse on them in the name of the Lord. Then 2 bears came out in the woods and mauled 42 youth. Doesn't say killed them, but definitely gave them a beaten up, if they remember.
The bottom says the Hebrew word for mauled means to tear to pieces.
Oh.
So I think they may be killed.
They may be killed. It might have been a lesson for Elisha.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dear. I got to watch what I say now that I'm in this position. Watch what I say. It's definitely overreaction on Elisha's part, which means, Elisha wasn't perfect either.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, how many of us have said something like that where we're just like, man, I wish they would whatever. I would whatever. And then not realizing that
something could really happen. Yeah. Yes, for sure. So that's the way I read it. I haven't gone to a lot of commentators on it. Definitely have not preached this passage.
Yeah.
And I have no notes in here that I preached this passage. But it seems like it has to do with the fact that, this is a inexperienced prophet that's got this power that he's just now beginning to understand how to wield it. That's my interpretation. Yeah. So hopefully, we know he got that sort of under control as time went on.
Yeah.
Because he used it. Actually, we have a lot more miracles recorded from Elisha's work than we do Elijah's. I mean, Elijah's prophet, the prophet Elijah is the one that is referred to into the New Testament, John the Baptist, and yet we don't have a lot of recorded work of Elijah compared to Elisha, And we've got a lot more, especially in 2 Kings,
Yeah.
of the work that Elisha did. Yeah.
That double portion is probably why.
I think that's exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. Yeah, good question. Provocative question. A
Uh-huh.
provocative
Yeah.
question. I'm going to think about that through lunch hour.
How do we atone for our sins?
Well, as Christians, we don't. We accept the atonement that has come to us through Jesus Christ. And maybe it would be better if we did atone for our sins once. Because, okay, so if you've done something wrong and you have to pay the price for it, it leaves a definite impression that you carry on. And what was common in the Hebrew culture was you did 2 to 4 times. So if you took an item, stole an item, you would pay for it 4 times over.
Okay.
So that you'd remember you're not going to go out and steal because it costs so
Not
much
doing
to
that
steal.
again.
Well, it costs way more to steal than to just go up and buy it the first time. And so with that, you were atoning for it by what you paid back. We can't pay the price of our sin. We can't atone for that. Jesus did. I think the bottom line of it is to make it right again, make us one again. And Christ did that for us between he and God for us. I think atonement might be something we need to do between each other to make sure that relationships stay in harmony. But we're even having a hard time doing forgiveness in the modern church.
Right.
And so to think of forgiveness and then needing to do atonement probably isn't on our radar right now. So it would be, atonement would be that part where we make it right again. If I've done something wrong, I make sure that you know that I'm sorry, but I also make it right with you.
Yeah.
And we probably need to do some more atonement in the church. I'm not sure who we'd use as judge and jury to say, well, this is what you need to do, and this is how we prescribe it. It would seem like, okay, here's I'm going on a rabbit trail.
All right.
It would seem like people who have received forgiveness from Christ and know all that he's forgiven us for would be the first to make sure that we don't need to make things right between each other. We would make sure we did it right the first time.
Yeah.
But in reality, we're still human. We're still going to step on each other's feet. How do we, as Christians, better walk with each other like our relationship with Jesus? He's forgiven us for things that we could never atone for and made it right between us and God. We're at one. Why can't we do that with each other better? It seems like with that model in the back of our head, we should be able to do it better.
Yeah.
But it doesn't happen. And I could say, okay, Satan's in the middle of it. Yeah, it could be. Satan's in the middle of it and causing all the grief that we're bearing. That could well be. Maybe that's too easy.
Give him all the credit.
I was going to say that's pretty easy. Letting us off because we've given Satan credit. I don't know if he needs any credit. He takes enough already. Yeah. So good concept, good thing to be thinking about. We've been atoned for by Christ's blood. How do we live that out today among us? Being forgiven so much, can we ever forgive that much? Yeah.
Very good.
I don't know that we've been asked even close to forgive like Christ did.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good question. That's going to have me thinking through the lunch hour.
Some good questions in that episode, huh?
There is, yeah. Yes.
Know what Don will be doing during his lunch hour.
I think maybe you've been with your brother too much. Oh, man. Good questions. Good questions.
Yep. Well, hope you guys enjoyed. I know I did. I like some of those Old Testament ones. Strange, interesting stories or things that happen.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And that's one of them.
Yeah. Well,
all the bald guys in the church know that passage. Did you know that? Every bald guy in the church knows that passage.
I'll never call anyone bald, but
Oh.
All righty. Thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Lord willing.
Thank you for joining us for this podcast. Feel free to become part of this ministry by sharing it with others. Our goal is to help each other grow deeper in our understanding of who God is and His calling to us in our daily lives. Thank you again for joining us, and may God bless your day.